Hello, ladies. There is just another thing that I thought you should know so that you understand what the males are doing, what their purpose is, what they have us in, okay? What they have done to us. Here is one. So this is a story about a this screen capture is from a story about a man who is 26 years old, and his wife is already done with the sex, basically. So she hasn't really directly told him that, but she's dragged it on for years already. And so this is a comment under that very thing, and he's now contemplating divorce at 26. Okay. So here's a comment under that video. Okay. No, bro. I went through the same thing with my ex about the same age I was, 26, after I was 26, after dating for like 9 years. First of all, for him to have dated for 9 years, yeah, it had to have been what, 16. They are attaching to females that early. These can only be parasites. And I need you to stop treating them like they are human. I need you to stop treating them like they have two eyes and bipedalism. And I need you to start treating them like the walking disease that they are. They are attaching to females that early. 16 years. 16. At 16. And they are doing it even earlier than that. At infancy. They are having sex with kids at infancy. It is impossible that this is human. It is impossible that they are. It is the only available option is that they are parasites. The only available option is that they are parasites, because you do not attach to an infant that early. What is an infant going to give you as far as babies? Disgusting. They make me ill. After dating for like 9 years, he was getting sex from this female for 9 years. 9 years of everyday sex. Don't let her BS you. Sex is a huge part of any relationship, and it's important to you, even if it isn't for her. Listen to that. Listen to that. They are only with us to parasite us. The baby is how they trapped us. The baby is how they trapped us. The baby is the tool by which they trapped us. The baby is the cage by which they trapped us to be able to victimize us. The baby is the cage. It literally is a cage, because they took us from being able to have our own children and be our own autonomous persons to being tied to them. We are literally in a cage. We are encaged right now. We are encaged. As long as this sexual reproduction is still enabled, we are in cages. And let me tell you something. I mean to uncage us. I mean to uncage us. Because that is what this movement is about. This movement to me is not about building an audience. It is not about making videos. It is about uncaging women. It is about freeing women. That is what I am doing. I am not here to make videos, to entertain, to educate. I am not here about educating. I am here to free women from these creatures. This is what I am doing. The education is only a means to do it. I am here to help you get free of them. So if you want to join me on that journey, it's going to take a lot, because there are 4.1 billion of them. And this thing is on a biological level. They have us on a genetic level. They encaged us on a genetic level. Which means in order for us to get free, that's where we must go. Do you understand me? For us to get free, we too must go on a genetic level. We must go on a genetic level. What does that mean? That means medical research. That's what that means. Research, scientific research. So if you want to join me in that movement, let's talk. I need you to make a comment under this video, because that is just part 2 of what it would take to free us. That is just part 2 of what it would take to free us. And I need you to understand that this is my only goal. This is my only goal. I am not here to be an influencer. I am not here to make money. I am not here to look pretty. I am not here to be agreeable. I am here to free women. That is my only goal. I'm here to snatch us from the jaws of encagement that these men have us in. That is my only goal. Don't let her BS you. Sex is a huge part of any relationship, and it's important to you, even if it isn't for her. If these were your partners, it would be just as important to you as it would be to him. This would be like how what your entire body is doing is to get nutrition, air, water, and food into your cells for them to do the biological processes that they need to engage in. This is literally the entire thing that your body has set up. So what he's saying is that if we were going to use that example, that when you breathe air and your blood carries it, and you eat food and your blood carries it to the cells, that's like saying, well, breathing is important for the lungs, even if it's not important for the blood. This is nonsense that is saying. There's literally, the reason your blood is the way it is because it is designed with a thing to carry oxygen. Do you understand that? Your blood has a thing to carry every single molecule of oxygen. This is the hand in hand that your entire system is based on. This is the hand in hand, the lock and key that the entire biology is based on, that it designs things to work in a way that they make sense. And they are saying, even if he needs sex, but you don't, which means you cannot even be the same, because the entire purpose of you both wanting the sex is so that you can work together to get it. You can work together to have kids together. Which means if sex is important to him, but it's not important to you, it means you cannot even be the same organism. Because biology simply does not work this way. I mean, this thing is so everywhere. I am wondering how we missed it all of this time. And of course, I know how it happened, but it is still so unbelievable. It is still so unbelievable. I feel so unsettled. Imagine you eat and your blood is like, well, eating is important to you, but it's not important that I carry the sugar to the cells. This is nonsense. This is gibberish. This is gibberish, which means that he is just using her as a sex tool, as a tool. She is just a hoe. If it's not both of them. For 9 years. And they mean for you to do that shit for life. And if you try to go, they kill you. This is nonsense. She should want to do something about that. Why would she? Because it's totally normal to her. The reason us women don't think that anything is wrong with us is because nothing is wrong with us. And the reason you know something is not wrong with you is because you are able to fully function without it. And that is exactly how you know when something is wrong, when you can't function. When you're able to fully function as a living organism and not as an attachment for a male, when you can fully function, that is why you know something is not in fact wrong with you. And when you cannot function, that is why you know something is. How would we be seeking help when we can function? How would we be seeking help when we are behaving normally? They have convinced themselves that them wanting sex must mean that this shit is normal. It is not normal. It's not normal to human biology. This is a sickness to human biology. This is a sickness. This is an illness. This is a plague, an illness. Sex is a plague. It is an illness to human biology. Anyways, fuck that. I left her and married a girl a few years ago, and sex is huge for her too. So we still do it pretty much every day. Few years ago, sex is huge for her, and a few years ago, it's rare we miss a day, and we're both way happier. That is until it's listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to this nonsense. It is rare they miss a day. That is until she gets pregnant and then she's too big to climb. Then what? Then what is it going to do? Then what? In order for, before the sex can resume, she would have to go 3 months? She would have to go at least 3 months with no sex. And for at least 6 weeks, preferably a year, before she can engage in sex again. Do you think this thing can wait that long? The entire purpose is to get you to victimize yourself with sex. Both way happy. No, are you sure about that? Are you sure this girl is happy having sex every single day? Is he sure about that? How about we hear from her? How about we hear from her how happy she is that she cannot get away for sex? She cannot not have sex every day. How about we hear it from her? I wouldn't put up with that, bro. It's the one thing you expect in a relationship. Yeah. They are there to use you for sex. Let me repeat that. They are there to use you for sex. All the cooking, all the cleaning, all the babies, those are all ancillary. The baby specifically used to engage us. They are there for sex. They are there only for sex. They are there only for sex. It's the only thing you expect in a relationship. It's the only reason they are in a relationship with you. It's the only reason they look at you. It's the only reason they tolerate us. It's the only reason they're not murdering us in the streets like they would do the animals they hunt. It is the only reason they tolerate us. Because if not, they would be murdering us like they do animals. They will be hunting us for sport. And even with all of that, they still do that. They still hunt us for sport. These things are pure evil manifest. I don't want to hear a single lip about a good man. Put up with that, bro. It's the one thing you expect in a relationship, and the longer you stay and don't get it, the more bitter you're gonna be about it when she cheats or whatever happens. Disgusting. Disgusting. These males make me sick to my stomach. They make me ill to my soul. Disgusting. This is what it is. Sex with them is victimizing yourself. Lying down with them every day is making yourself a victim. Demanding sex from you is them making you a victim. They don't even have to do it. They simply have to ask you, because that is exactly what it is designed to be. They have known this. They have always known this. I have stalked their spaces for so long. I might as well be a member. I might as well be one of them. With how much of them I actually observe. Okay? Every time they talk about sex, not in front of women, but amongst themselves, they always use violence. They use violent terms. They never ever use loving terms. They never ever use neutral terms. They always use violent terms. Sex is violence. The baby is how they trapped us to be able to perpetrate this violence so that we cannot get away from them. The babies is how they trapped us so that we can't get away from them. And that is the work that we must do to free ourselves so that we can get away from them. So that we can get away from them. That is the work we must engage in. They're telling us, oh, it's not possible. Yes, it is. I found the one thing that proves that it is, in fact, possible to have our own children. It is, in fact, possible. I found the one thing that shows that they blocked it. You can only block something that exists. You can only block something you cannot erase. You can only block something you can't undo. It has to meet those three things. That is why it is blocked and not erased and not non-existent and not whatever. I found evidence that it was blocked. I found the evidence that it was blocked, which means it exists. You only care to block something that exists. You need the sun is there. You can't get rid of it. That is why you buy blinds to block it. If you can get rid of the sun, you simply just get rid of it. You don't bother to block it. You simply get rid of it. You block it because you cannot get rid of it, which means, ladies, it is time that we release ourselves. It is time that we release ourselves. We would never have this much information and be this much cognizant ever in our lives again, because the men are planning on re-enslaving us. The men are planning on re-enslaving us. They have now seen the consequences of treating us like we are equal. They are now dealing with those consequences and they are regretting it. And they know in order for them to not repeat this, they will have to find a way to tie us permanently. They know this, and they're very capable of doing it. Is it going to be easy for them? No, but they are willing. They have the temerity to do it. They have the audacity to do it, and they have the will to do so. And we must, on the flip side, be exactly as courageous. That's it for now.